Coming up next, getting more sleep may make a lot of people a lot happier. We're going to take a look at a new treatment for insomnia. You got to see this one to believe it. But first, these messages.
All right, stop yawning. Today we continue our week-long series on mini medical miracles by taking a look at insomnia. More than 70 million Americans suffer from some type of sleep disorder, and it seems there are just as many remedies out there promising to solve it. Researchers here in New York City are trying to lend a helping hand, and as NBC's chief medical editor, Dr. Nancy Snyderman, tells us, their solution lies right in the palm of your hand.
The business of catching some Z's is booming.
It's the only sleep aid with 2 layers to help you stay asleep.
But could something as simple as the temperature of your hands unlock the secret to deep sleep?
Each time you inhale, I'd like you to imagine warmth moving into your hands all the way to the tips of your fingers. And as you exhale, say the word relax in your mind.
Researchers at Weill Cornell Medical Center in New York City say yes.
Basically, the idea behind the study is that the best predictor of whether you're going to fall asleep is an increase in your hand and foot temperature relative to your core.
Warming up your hands draws heat away from your body, and a drop in body temperature signals that it's time to fall asleep.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to emulate that.
It's called temperature biofeedback. Through relaxation techniques, these researchers are teaching patients to warm up their hands.
Feel free to use any visualization, like the warmth of the sun, perhaps warming your hands.
The feedback comes from the lab's monitor, which tells them if patients are doing it correctly.
Let the visual imagery be your guide. As your temperature goes up, you'll see the bar graph goes up and the animation continues to move.
And eventually, once the technique is learned, they do it at home on their own.
A lot of people out there are taking hypnotic medications when they could use a behavioral treatment that would successfully treat their condition, and it would be cheaper for them, it would be safer. Long term, it would be more effective.
And Dr. Nancy, good morning.
Hi, Meredith.
I want to point out that this temperature biofeedback has only been tried out on literally a handful of people,
That's
about
right.
5 people.
I mean, this is really beginning science, but it's based on years of what we know about biofeedback and being able to control your body in ways you might not have thought about before.
But if it's all about keeping your hands and your feet warm, why not just put on a pair of gloves and a pair of socks when you get into bed?
It's because it's not about making the outside of your hands or feet warm. It's about pulling the blood from the inside, where your trunk, to your extremities. Think about the trunk of your body is like having a big, heavy fleece jacket on, and it's warmer. When you pull the blood into your hands, the skin is thinner, the blood gets cooled, then it returns to the inside of your body, cooler. That tells your brain you're cooling off, things are slowing down, it's time to go to sleep.
Can people actually experiment with this at home at this point? Try meditating and thinking of your hands as being warm?
The answer is absolutely. But what happens in biofeedback labs like this is that you get to be able to see, oh yes, this is how I'm doing it, this is how I'm making the connection. And so that biofeedback aspect of learning how to do those mechanisms gives doctors the science and patients the tool to do it at home.
And what if you're on medication? Can you do it in conjunction with medication? Or
right now the answer is yes, but what we're hoping to do is take a sleep-deprived nation and basically wean people off medicines that are really just supposed to be used for short-term use anyway. They're not supposed to be used every day. Biofeedback can be used anytime you need it.
I'm going to try that because I'm one of those people.
And this is going to be presented in June. This is science that's going to stand up.
Dr. Nancy, thanks very much. Tomorrow on Mini Medical Miracles, going to get a little flaky about dandruff after this.